Hello learners, I am Dr. Uma Singh from Delhi University and I would be discussing the topic Industry and Commerce for you. As you know, business represents organized efforts by an individual or group of individuals engaged in making a living. Business includes all those activities which involve production or purchase of goods for rendering of services with the object of selling them at a profit. Business comprises all profit seeking activities and enterprises that provide goods and services necessary to an economic system. Learners, now I am going to discuss classification of business activities because that is a very important part for understanding this chapter. Classification of business activities. The basic cause of all productive activities is the unlimited wants of human beings and the need to satisfy them. Human wants are many and also complex in nature. Though the basic requirements of all human beings are three, mainly food, clothing and shelter, we are consuming many other things which have to be generally paid for. For example, toothpaste and soap you use, the bread you eat, the furniture you use, the dress you wear and the TV you watch are some of the examples. Have you ever thought of how these things are made available to you? Each one of them has a long process behind it. The manufacturer purchases goods from the consumer. Generally, the manufacturer may take the help of middlemen like the wholesaler and retailers to distribute the goods in the consumer. So, the business activity can be classified into two categories, industry and commerce. Industry is concerned with the production of goods and materials, while commerce is mainly concerned with their distribution. We will first discuss about industry and types of industries. The production side of business activity is referred as industry. It is a business activity which is related to the raising, producing, processing or manufacturing of products. The products can be consumer goods as well as producers' goods. Consumer goods are goods which are used finally by the consumers. Example, food grains, textiles, cosmetics, etc. Producer goods are the goods used by manufacturer for producing some other goods like machinery, tools, equipment, etc. Thus, the term industry refers to that part of the business activity which is concerned with extracting materials like coal, iron ore, petroleum which are referred to as extractive industry, processing and converting raw materials into finished products like soap, bread, fans, machines, cement which are called as manufacturing industry and construction activity like building, dams, bridges, roads etc. which are called as construction industry. So, we can summarize these activities which involve extraction, production, processing, construction and fabrication of goods, they come under the category of industry. Or we can also put in as industry means a group of factories usually specializing in a particular product line. For example, all the factories which produce cotton textiles together constitute cotton textile industry. All the cement factories together constitute cement industry. Learners, I hope now you have a good idea about industry. So, now we move forward and talk about the classification or types of industries. There are various types of industries which are as follows. Primary industry. So, primary industry is concerned with production of goods with the help of nature. It is a nature oriented industry which requires very little human effort like agriculture, farming, forestry, fishing, horticulture, etc. The second is the genetic industries. So, genetic industries are engaged in reproduction and multiplication of certain species of plants and animals with the object of sale. The main aim is to earn profit from such sale. Example, plant nurseries, cattle rearing, poultry, cattle breeding, etc. The third is the extractive industry. Extractive industry is concerned with extraction or drawing of goods from the soil, air or water like mining industry, coal and mineral oil, extraction of timber and rubber from forest etc. The fourth is the manufacturing industry. Manufacturing industries are engaged in transforming raw material into finished product with the help of machines and manpower. The finished goods can be either consumer goods or producer goods. Example, textiles, chemicals, sugar industry, paper industry, etc. The next industry is a construction industry. Construction industries take the work of construction of building bridges, roads, dams, canals, etc. This industry is the industry in case of other industries where goods can be produced at one place and sold at another place, but goods produced and sold by constructive industries are erected at one place. The next type of industry is the service industry. Service industry, in the modern times, service sector plays an important role in the development of the nation, and therefore it is named as service industry. The main industries which fall under this category include hotel industry, tourism industry, entertainment industry, etc. Dear learners, after industry, now I am going to tell another very important part of the chapter, that is commerce. While industry is concerned with the production of goods, commerce is concerned with making the same available to those who need them. In other words, commerce is mainly concerned with distribution of goods. It embraces all those functions which are essential for maintaining a free and uninterrupted flow of goods. Therefore, the term commerce includes trade and aids to trade. Now, there is a question in your mind that what is trade? The term trade is used to denote buying and selling. Therefore, one who buys and sells is a trader. A trader is a middleman between the producer and the consumer. Trade may be wholesale trade or retail trade. A wholesale trade purchases in large quantities from the producers and sells in small quantities to the retail traders. A retail trader is one who purchases from the wholesale trader or sometimes directly from the producer and sells in smaller quantities to the ultimate consumer. So, now you have a better idea about trade. Another very important part of the commerce is aids to trade or auxiliaries to trade. All the activities that facilitate smooth flow of goods from manufacturing centers to the consumption centers are called aids or auxiliaries to trade. Aids to trade can be classified into 5 categories, namely transportation, warehousing, insurance, advertising and banking. Now, I would be explaining these 5 aids in detail. So, first let me talk about transportation. Selling all the goods produced at or near the production center is not possible. Hence, goods are to be sent to different places where they are demanded. The medium which moves men and material from one place to another is called transport. Transport can be of 3 types, namely land transport, which involves road and rail, air transport like aeroplane, and water transport like boat or ship. Second is warehousing. Storage is indispensable in these days of mass production. The goods should be stored carefully from the time they are produced till the time they are sold. Hence, the need for warehousing. Warehousing are also called as godowns. The third auxiliary activity is insurance. The goods may be destroyed while in production process or in transit due to accidents or in storage due to fire or theft, etc. The businessman would like to cover these risks. Insurance companies come to their rescue in this regard. They undertake to compensate the loss suffered due to such risk. For this purpose, the businessman has to take the insurance policy and pay a certain amount regularly, which is called as premium. The next is advertising. Advertising is an effective aid in selling the goods. The producer, through advertisement, communicates all the information about his good to his prospective consumers and create in them a strong desire to buy the product. Advertising can be carried in different ways. It can be indoor or outdoor. Communicating with people through advertising when they are at their homes is called indoor advertising, like advertising through newspapers, radio, television, etc. Communicating with people when they go out from their homes is called outdoor advertising. Examples are cinema theatres, wall posters and hoardings at prominent places. Next auxiliary activity is banking. Nowadays, we cannot think of a business without banks. To start the business or to run it smoothly, we require money. Banks supply money. A bank is an organization which accepts deposits of money from the public that can be withdrawn on demand or otherwise and lends the same to those who need it. Banks also provide many other services required for the business activity. After industry and commerce, there is a very important term, that is e-commerce or electronic commerce. You know that the internet is now a flourishing industry. With the technology advancing at a fast rate, more and more people are open to computers and internet. Increasingly, they are learning to utilize the internet for their day-to-day needs. Here, e-commerce websites take a front seat, moving out to millions of people searching for their kind of products or services online. Putting it simply, e-commerce or electronic commerce means buying and selling of goods and services through the internet. Before making any decision in business, it is worth taking into consideration the benefits the company would reap in implementation of the new strategy of e-commerce. So, the first and foremost thing that you need to know is whether your kind of business needs an e-commerce feature enabled website. E-commerce or electronic commerce, a subset of e-business, is the purchasing, selling and exchanging of goods and services over computer network such as the internet, through which transactions or terms of sales are performed electronically. In practice, this term and a newer term e-business are often used interchangeably. For online retail selling, the term e-retailing is sometimes used. Electronic commerce is the conduct of financial transactions by electronic means. With the huge success of e-commerce, usually refers to shopping at online services on the World Wide Web, also known as e-commerce websites. E-commerce can be broken into four main categories: B2B, B2C, C2B and C2C. Now, after understanding about e-commerce, let us talk about types of e-commerce. E-commerce can be classified as follows. First is B2B, which is business to business. Companies doing business with each other, such as manufacturers selling to distributors and wholesalers selling to retailers. Pricing is based on quantity of order and is often negotiable. Second is B2C, which is business to consumer. So, business selling to the general public, typically through catalogs utilizing shopping cart software. Third is C2B, that is consumer to business. A consumer posts his project with a set budget online, and within hours companies review the consumer's requirements and bid on the project. The consumer reviews the bids and selects the company that will complete the project. C2B empowers consumers around the world by providing the meeting ground and platform for such transactions. The fourth is C2C, that is consumer to consumer. There are many sites offering free classifieds, auctions and forums where individual can buy and sell things online. For example, OLX, payment systems like Paybill, where people with case eBay's auction service is a great example of where person to person transactions take place every day since 1995. There are other categories of e-commerce, but they tend to be superfluous, some of which are G2G, that is government to government, G2A, that is government to employee, G2B, that is government to business, B2G, that is business to government, G2C, that is government to citizen, and C2G, that is citizen to government. Now, there is a question in your mind: what are the differences in the traditional business and e-business? So, we would be discussing about traditional business and e-business. First is in terms of formation. Formation of traditional business is easy, while the formation of e-business is difficult. Second difference is physical. The physical presence in traditional business is necessary, while physical presence is not necessary in case of e-business. Third is in terms of cost of establishment. Cost of establishment is more in case of traditional business, while it is less in case of e-business. Fourth is the operating cost. Due to investment in procurement, marketing and distribution, operating cost is high in case of traditional business, while it is low in e-business because physical facilities is not required in e-business. Fifth is in terms of the dealing time. Dealing time is more in traditional business, while it is less in e-business because transactions are settled on the internet. Next is opportunity for interpersonal touch. It is more in traditional business, while it is less in e-business. The next is length of business cycle. The length of business cycle is longer in traditional business because of sequential relationship among various processes, while it is shorter in e-business because of completion of various business processes which generally are at the same time. The next is government help. Government help is less in case of traditional business, while it is more in case of e-business. The next is the global reach. Global reach is less in traditional business and it is more in e-business. At last, I am going to tell you about the advantages of e-commerce. Some of the advantages are: first is wider choice for both the seller and the buyer. With the help of a well developed computer networking system, business units can operate at the national as well as the global level. The consumers thus have a wider choice of products and services. The businessman also, on the other hand, have a wider market for their products and services. Second advantage is the improved customer services. Suppliers of goods and services can offer a wide range of services to the customers before as well as after sale, such as information about product guidance for use, responding to consumers, usefulness of the product, etc. The third is in respect of quick response to consumer needs. In e-commerce business, transactions take far less time as compared to the normal process of buying and selling. This is because the producers cut short the distribution channel and supply products and services directly to the consumers. Next is cost saving and price reduction. There is a substantial cost saving in business transaction conducted through e-commerce. There is no need to display goods in showrooms or keep large stock of godowns. The number of employees required to carry on the business is also less. Thus, the cost of operation naturally comes down. So, the consumers may get goods at a lower rate. Next advantage offered is market information. Access to market information available through the internet enables business concerns to identify varied consumer needs and produce new goods and better services accordingly. So, dear learners, now I am sure you are very clear about the concepts about industry, commerce and e-commerce. Also in the program, you have understood the differences between traditional business and e-business. So, I hope this program was very useful to you and you have learned the topic well. Thank you.
ये है कूल लाइफ, नो फिकर नो टेंशन। ये कम है कंगले।
पर यार एक्सीडेंट हो गया तो?
तू भी जनानियों की तरह उधेड़-बुन में लगा रहता है। जिंदगी एक ही बार मिलती है, एंजॉय। अब कहाँ चल दिया?
मेरी इकोनॉमिक्स की क्लास है।
अबे तेरे बिना वहाँ क्या कमी रह जाएगी?
मैं ये चैप्टर नहीं समझ पाऊंगा।
जा
बाय।
और बगला भगत। यार तू तो रहेगा हमेशा कुएं का मेढक, लेकिन भैया हम तो दुनिया में फुल ऐश करेंगे।
यार तू समझता क्यों नहीं यार?
क्या? अक्ल मुझे भी है। मुझे पता है कि हमें नौकरियां करनी होंगी। आज तक जिंदगी पढ़ते पढ़ते गुजर गई। 2 साल बाद सर पे नौकरी की तलवार टंगी होगी और हम कौन सा लाट कलेक्टर बन जाएंगे। बस गुजारे लायक तनख्वाह होगी। इस दुनिया में इतनी मौज है, मस्ती है, ऐश है, उसमें हमारा हिस्सा कहाँ है? क्या?
ले बेटा खा।
चाची जी आप सुबह से रात तक काम करती हैं, थक नहीं जाती?
हाँ थक तो जाती हूँ बेटा, पर क्या करूँ, अब तो सुरिंदर की बहू ही आकर के आराम देगी।
बहू क्या ऐसे ही आ जाती है? खर्चा करना पड़ता है, बहुओं को कुछ देना भी पड़ता है।
अरे मेरी बहू आए तो सही, मैं उसे सोने की चूड़ियां पहनाऊंगी, सोने की। हाँ अरे मोबाइल क्या देख रहा है? तुझे क्या मालूम, मैंने एक एक पैसा जोड़ जोड़ कर अपनी बहू के लिए सोने की चूड़ियां बनवाई हैं। मनीष बेटा, ये तेरा दोस्त है, इस तरह इसका ध्यान रख। स्कूल तो इसने तेरे साथ पार कर ही लिया है। ले ले सागौन ले ले।
नहीं नहीं।
क्यों? अरे ले भी ले।
अबे यार, वहाँ हमारे ग्रुप का क्रेडिट कार्ड चलता है।
क्रेडिट को हिंदी में कर्ज कहते हैं।
तुझे नहीं पता, मेरा ग्रुप बहुत दिलदार है। 100 के नोट तो वो कुछ समझते ही नहीं।
जिस दिन तुझे उन्हें दावत देनी पड़ेगी तब क्या करेगा? वो तुझे फ्री में देकर आदत बिगाड़ रहे हैं।
मर्द बच्चा हूं मैं, तो बस जरा मस्ती के लिए, आदत वादत में नहीं डालूंगा। जब चाहे यूं छोड़ दूंगा।
तो अभी छोड़ दे।
क्या हुआ? मना कर गया। मैं तो पहले ही कह रहा था, गोली मारो उसे। इसकी भेजे में बात नहीं आएगी। इसकी किस्मत में खुश रहना नहीं लिखा है।
चाची जी सब्र कीजिए, सब ठीक हो जाएगा।
अरे कैसे सब्र करूं बेटे, कितनी मुश्किल से अकेली ने मैंने ये बेटा पाला है, और ये बेटा मुझे ये रंग दिखा रहा है। और मैं तो किसी से कह भी नहीं सकती। न जाने कैसे कैसे पैसे जुटा के मैंने इसकी बहू के लिए चूड़ियां बनवाई थी।
बहू के लिए बनवाई थी ना, बेटे ने ले ली तो क्या आफत आ गई?
अरे नाश पीटे, अरे तू चला जा, एक तो चोरी ऊपर से सीना चोरी।
मुझे अपने घर में बाहरी लोगों का दखल पसंद नहीं। आप जाओ।
अरे अरे आओ सत्यानाशी, चुप हो जा। मनीष मनीष बेटे, तू इसकी बातों का बुरा मत मानना।
चाची जी
बहुत बुरा किया तूने बहुत बुरा किया। डॉक्टर साहब, मेरे बच्चों को बचा लीजिए।
आप थोड़ा सब्र रखिए, चिंता ना करिए, हम अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश करेंगे। सुरेंद्र, हम आपको 15 दिन के लिए इस सेंटर पे रखेंगे। दवाइयों एवं बातचीत द्वारा हम आपका इलाज करेंगे, पर एक बात का ध्यान रखना होगा, दवाइयों से इस आदत से छुटकारा नहीं मिल सकता। इसके लिए आपको अपना आत्मविश्वास बढ़ाना होगा, और अगर इस आदत को छोड़ने की तुम मन में ठान लो तो दुनिया की कोई ताकत आपको रोक नहीं सकती। इस बात को हमेशा ध्यान रखना।
हिंदुस्तान के हर कोने में नौजवानों के पास प्रतिभा है, उन्हें अवसर चाहिए।
NIOS देता रहा है युवाओं को अवसर आगे बढ़ने का। NIOS से पढ़ने वाले इन युवाओं ने किया है संस्थान को गौरवान्वित। दिव्यांगों ने बन के दिखाया है सबल और आत्मनिर्भर। NIOS के साथ आप भी जुड़िए NIOS के संग।
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो, धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो। कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो। मित्रों हम उठे और जागे, मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने। हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने। राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता